the amazing Gillian Armstrong on stage at the Palais for Sarwar with my co-author Catherine Jacob, who was saying that there are 14% of movies are now directed by women, but only 9% of commercials. In an industry where 80% of commercials are targeted at women. And I've just written a piece actually for Walk, which I think is out today, on how to market effectively to women. And that's one of the key points I make, is that in an industry where we're trying to reach women, where women have the majority of buying power. I mean, again, this is a Claire Enders stat. So she stood up at a conference a while back and she said the majority of buying power in the UK, the majority of decisions, open brackets excluding gaming, close brackets, but for every other sector, is women over the age of 35, right? That is not the majority of decision making about what kind of marketing commercials are directed at women. So why wouldn't you want a woman's point of view? And one of the case studies in the book is from a CMO in New York. So all the stories in the book are true as told to us, but all the names are changed. And it's a CMO in New York who was kind of Harvard Business School and had a sterling career as a CMO. And they got a new boss, a new CEO, who was a, put in inverted commas, native New Yorker, because he'd been in New York for kind of 10, 15 years. But suddenly she found that the glass wall descended, and the glass wall is this idea of the meetings that you get left off, of not being asked your opinion about something pre a meeting and arriving and finding that the consensus has already been agreed, being the only woman in a meeting. And she said, I kind of couldn't work out what was wrong, because I was still, as far as I was concerned, doing the same things, but I was doubting myself consistently. And then she said that a colleague reached out to her actually, and it was the EA to the CEO, and he said to her, you just need to be in his face more. He was from in his face more. He's starting to leave you out, and you're fading backwards, which is one of the things that women do, right? So you kind of get left out, and you kind of go, all right, must be me. And she said, and the EA said, no, get in front of him, get in front of him. And in fact, I want you to move where you sit to literally outside his office, right? And her conclusion was that although he'd lived in New York for 10, 15 years, he'd grown up in an area of Eastern Europe where, she said to me, he'd grown up with a level of deference from women which you and I, Sue, growing up in London and New York, have never experienced. And so he just wasn't seeing me. And it was only when I actually literally got in his face that he started to treat me normally. So that's the first point, is that cultural thing. But the second point, which someone made to me, all of her men colleagues who were noticing that she was being left out, they didn't speak up for her. They didn't go, oh, we should be including her. They just went, oh, good, a little less competition. And it's just, so there's both those sides of it in that case. So we could kind of spin anything around one of the case studies and then have a bit of a debate with people about what they're doing and what needs to be done.